how the story goes, we find out by the treasure in the grand line, there's no doubt. The pirate whose eye is on it, he'll sing, I'll be king of the pirates, I'm gonna be king.
Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Today I bring to you a video on my RIFTBORNE MAGNAMALO Outbreak results. The best Outbreak ever with the best Light Bowgun in the game. Yes, we got something that was really good, and it came in the form of this flaming hellfire Tony the Tiger on this frosted flake cereal. Not really frosted, more like flaming flake cereal. I mean flaming your potions that are disappearing in front of your eyes as it goes into a lower and lower count. But yes, RIFTBORNE MAGNAMALO came into our lives, and it brought powerful blast weapons, including the most powerful style change weapon yet. And what was also insanely cool is that Driftstone K was also in the same week that this happened. You know what that means? I'm going to cover this more on later. But that means if you were going after Focus and Charge Master like I was, you were either going Omega hard or you were doing the best you can under the conditions you could play as in whether for free to play or whatever. But as you see here, this was exceptionally painful. A lot of you know what pain is. Some of you know what pain is. If not, you will. Alright, first we're going to start off with the build. So, versus MAGNAMALO, here's what I used first. It was the Blast Dash Great Gyros Gunlance, and this was the first build I used to mow down MAGNAMALO. The thing is, paralyzing it was the fastest way to set up in group hunts and blasting the Riftborn part. And in addition, Blast Mass Mobility also really helped with MAGNAMALO's ridiculous hitbox when it jumps around attacks. Just when you think you have this thing memorized, you know that little flying attack it does after it hits you in the air and starts charging towards you? Yeah, that dodge doesn't work all the time. It's really dumb, and I don't know why. No matter how many times I would practice to either P-dodge or get the timing down, for some reason, it still freaking hit me, and it was so annoying. But you know what? This build worked most of the time, up until I actually built what I wanted from RIFTBORNE MAGNAMALO, and then it just got really spicy from then on, because I wanted to feel like I was back in the Air Force, back on a B-52. I've actually never ridden one. I've been on one in like an air museum, and I've seen it fly, but yes, B-52 be cool. And where this led to was I switched up this build for the RIFTBORNE Outbreaks. Once I 2020 maxed out the MAGNAMALO Light Bowgun, I figured I would use this time to practice. And this was the Evading Reload Stepping Shot MAGNAMALO Light Bowgun style change, which is the best one in the game right now. And you've probably seen some insane content from it, and from personal experience, and for the one I'm telling you, and literally all over social media. This thing has been carpet bombing poor monsters left and right. It has been a massacre. It has been a genocide as far as Monster Hunter Now large monsters have been. If you're using it against small monsters as well, I love it. You are awesome. Keep doing so, please. In addition, I also didn't care much about kill speed, and rather something that could break parts quickly so I could activate pursuit, but also just blow this thing left and right, stun it so that me or my teammates could just blast and rip RIFTBORNE MAGNAMALO apart. So the strategy was for this event, the MAGNAMALO event strat, was to do as many 10-star MAGNAMALO hunt-a-thons as possible. You had 5 of those in one single hat, so for my 3-hour freebies, I was mostly just doing those as much as possible. In addition, while it was on the field, I casually tried to slay as many RIFTBORNE MAGNAMALO as possible. My primary goal for this entire event was to 10-5 my MAGNAMALO Light Bowgun and max parameter upgrade it to 2020. In addition, what made this really cool was MAGNAMALO was also a guaranteed target for Driftstone K. For those of you that played back in the old days and you remember this, we didn't have guaranteed Driftstones back then. So it was 1,000 times harder to pull this off. But now it was very sweet for those hardcore drift smelters like me and for everybody else like you did, or just anybody in general that did not play back then and did not know the struggle of what it was like to get random smelts, random driftstones rather than guaranteed ones like this event. But overall, honestly, I had a lot of fun. Here's my RIFTBORNE MAGNAMALO Outbreak results. I didn't care too much for kill count at all, plus I was drift smelting, so my numbers weren't great. I wanted my smelts, alright? The fact that this was put together was absolutely amazing. And also, as you see here, I casually got the silver MAGNAMALO medal while I was at it. You know, unlike other people out there that try to hide their stats from you so it doesn't look like they're credible. So they hide the fact that they aren't really as credible as they put out to be. But yes, In addition, here's my notes. Again, I was really focusing on drift smelting, but my numbers were still, in my opinion, still pretty dang high because I was just stacking and uploading and just smelting as much as possible, at least until Sunday. So for Friday, I had 55 slays, as you saw on that little screen earlier. For Saturday, I had 52 slays. For Sunday, I only had 38 slays. I actually didn't play the whole hour. I had planned Sunday, and I pretty much got everything I needed smelt-wise, so I didn't play that whole hour. As you see here, for those of you that have been playing solo for it, I could have used a better build as well, but I really wanted to practice with RIFTBORNE Magnamalo's Light Bowgun and Stepping Shot. It was a lot of fun. Once you clear out all your ammo and then get to your cluster bomb, like you see right here, it's just way too much fun blowing it up. But at the same time, it's factually insanely powerful, and it takes a lot of effort for you to get to this level when you get your Magnamalo Light Bowgun up to 2020. But yeah, all this right here, I managed to get a majority of the smelts I wanted, but this was just really awesome. Again, struggle with solo players. Let's just hope something like this is fixed in the future so that we aren't totally like, I'm a solo player. I am the only English creator in the top 3 that's solo player. Factually, that's it. None of my friends play this game. They're all Pokemon Go players. If they did, they would dominate me because they're really hardcore, and unlike the rest of the English players, they actually have Pokemon Go experience like I do. They're level 50. Level 70's up here right now. Yeah, some of them are already beyond level 75. That's how hardcore they're going. I mean, I haven't gone for level 80 yet, but I'm planning on going to like later. Or maybe never. I just don't know. But if you aren't anywhere close to that or getting jumped to 70, you do not play a lot of Pokemon Go. Or didn't to begin with. And the reason I put this out there is because it's factual. I've done a lot. But you know what? People really like discrediting accomplishments, and they really love participation trophies. I don't approve of that. Never did as a wrestling coach. But yeah, that's why I'm really positioned and primed to give the most effective feedback, because not only do I have a lot of experience in this game, I have plenty of experience from the other game. But this is the feedback I have for this event. Tying together the Magnamalo Outbreaks and Driftstone events were actually a great idea. I liked it. Putting them both together, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. This gave you the ability to do massive amounts of drift smelts within the Outbreak hour. I mean, 55 was still a good amount of kills, but that's 55 smelts. So put the first 2 days together, I did over 100 smelts in 2 hours. That's absolutely amazing. Great efficiency. However, I do agree there should be an access range boost for future events, just like the Espinas one. That would help a lot. I know it was the 2-year anniversary, so that was a little more special. But I think it should be the standard later on. Pokemon Go had a permanent 50% increase. For those that remember, don't play back in the day, when COVID happened, they literally did that 50% increase jump. They also made Go Battle League free. You didn't have to pay for sets. For those, since I'm the only one that actually is a hardcore PvPer as far as Pokemon Go back in the day. And there should have been double drops in the first 2 slots for the Outbreak hours. This would make up for the effort solo players have to do when taking on Outbreaks and more of an incentive to participate in them. For back in the last one for Devil Joe, it was actually double drops for the first 2 slots. I don't know why it was it for this one. Honestly, the last one was probably a lot more valuable than this one, but it should have been for this one as well. I think that should be the standard, or at least just for the Outbreaks consistently, just to give people more incentive to play. Hopefully you all managed to forge and upgrade everything you needed from this event. Now let's hope that there are more improvements for future Outbreaks. There's a lot to improve on, but again, I hope these feedbacks are implemented or something like that in the future. Please do me a huge favor, like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. I wish you the best of luck in your drift smelts. For those of you that know, you do know. Unfortunately, unless RNG is on your side, you're not going to get the drift smelt you wanted on the first, or maybe in the first 10 tries you do. But you know what? If you keep going, never give up, and you'll probably get Charge Master like you finally wanted, or whatever skill you wanted for drift smelt, just like I did over here. Again, good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.